Howdy lads, welcome back to another Gates of Hell PvP match. This time is a 2v2 on Zibirovo. It's late war. I'm the German faction. I've gone for the all-round doctrine. It is myself and Dulky versus Triglav and Mainis. All of us are in the Discord. Once again, if you do want to get games in, jump in. It is a blast. But, looks like I started on the northwestern side, or on the right side, so I'm heading northwest. I'm going to rush the Cooper wagon over to the middle, see if I can't cap that. And then I've got a whole squad and a bunch of single detachments pushing out to the northwest. As you can see, that point closest to the north, I'm actually pushing up into that top corner. I'm not going to keep many forces there, but I'll have a soldier at the corner just in case he pushes. That way it's a bit of warning. That's all that is. But I've managed to get there first with the Cooper wagon. Now it's just a bit of a waiting game to see what Triglav and Mainis have sorted for the start of the match. I don't know if they've grabbed a vehicle at this point. And Dulky's heading out to the southeast. So you got to make a decision when you start a 2v2 if you're going to go hard for the flanks or if you're going to go hard for one flank in the middle. In this one, we've kind of gone hard for the flanks. In doing that, like I have got the Cooper wagon in the middle just to, I guess, do something. But odds are that they're just going to kill that and kick me straight off that. So I don't know if it's the most viable tactic to send a Jeep to a point with no reinforcements coming for an extended period of time. But it does work out for you sometimes. And it seems to be working out for us so far now. It doesn't seem like they've actually bought a Jeep of their own. So hopefully I can catch a squad off guard. Couldn't tell you if I do because, to be fair, I played this a long time ago. I can't remember. But I'll get some foxholes dug. Why not? Just to kind of watch the edge of the point. As I said, watch that corner. Meanwhile, I've got the squad pushing over to the northwest. I expect one of them to push me out here as well. So we'll see how that goes. And they have actually made it there pretty quick. So I assume that would be scout troops because obviously they sprint for longer. And he made it there quicker even though I got them out straight away. So that leads me to believe that I can actually take them on and win. So I'm going to push hard for that. And see if I can't find these scout squad lads. Also got a Volksgrenadier squad heading out. A decent one. So he's actually found a good spot behind those logs there. But I'll lie these guys down. Throw some smoke. See if we can't take them on. The scouts troops only have like 150 health. The basic ones. So, as I said, that led me to believe that I could take them on. I am going to start moving some guys up. So, Mainis is trying to push out on this flank. I imagine he's trying to get a grenade at my squad. So, I'm going to try and grenade him before he can get me. So, he actually naded himself. Unlucky. But he's running away. I think he threw a smoke grenade as well to try burn me out. Not a bad play. But either way, I am capping this point, so I'm not too worried. He's got the military police riflemen. So, no, they're not scout squads. So I'm surprised they made it there quicker, but, well, that much quicker. But they do still have almost no health. So if I can wipe that first military police squad, that puts Mainis in a very bad position going forward. If I can wipe it quick enough before he gets reinforcements. So they have actually overtaken us in the middle. My Jeep is still alive, but I'm not too worried. Now these M1 Garans are actually doing a fair bit of damage to my Volksgrenadiers. What I'm trying to do here is flank around. If I can flank around and get a machine gun to the side of the where they're hiding. That should help me out quite a bit. Looks like he's reinforced it a little bit. I'm guessing with single detachments. But I have a full squad pushing in as we speak. And Dulky's actually got a very nice spread. If you could look at the minimap there between that southeastern point in the middle. I like what he's done there. Perhaps could use a few of them in the middle point though. But you can see the power of having cover. Even though my infantry were better than the infantry Mainis had, they've got a nice spot over behind those logs. I probably should have kept smoking and tried to crawl up and lob a whole bunch of grenades over there because I could have wiped him pretty easily. But I didn't. I'm actually getting these guys into that compound. 5 minutes in though, 286 to 262. Myself and Dulky's way. So again, he's trying to rush me with nades. Not today, son. Oh my god, throw your grenades, you douchebags. So you can see me mucking about with it. I've been trying to throw grenades that whole time. Sometimes it just does this to me. I don't understand why. I don't know if it's my mouse or if it's the game. But I will spend like 30 seconds trying to throw a grenade for him to just not. But I got a nice nade off there. 4 kills. And I got the MP40. So it's almost swung it in my favour. But I'm going to need reinforcements. I do have them coming from the north, as you can see from the map. I've also managed to push a squad into this middle point to assist Dulky, which means we are now capping that. So, yes, I'm fighting for it a little on the northwest, but we are pretty comfortable over here in the middle. So he's still trying to throw nades at me. Get out of it. So I've pushed him away a little bit, or pushed him back a bit, but he does still hold the point by a fair bit. I've brought out the 5cm Puma though. I love this weapon, I think it's awesome. Not that great for infantry to be fair, but I got that purely to counter anything he bought. I figured if I get it up early, if he brings up a tank, I can counter it. If he brings up, you know, if he doesn't bring up a tank, well then I've got it there spare, essentially. If you're going to buy a unit first, a Doctrine unit, I think it's important to buy one that can deal with tanks. Because if you jump the gun and buy, I don't know, a AA gun, let's say, or the 2 snipers with a Soviet irregular or whatever, if you buy that prematurely, and then they bring out a tank and you can't deal with it, well, you're going to be struggling for for another 10 minutes until you get that 15-minute Doctrine. But you can save and bring out a tank to deal with it, but then it takes away from the infantry. So yeah, I find if you're going to take the initiative and get your Doctrine unit out first, make sure it's something that can deal with tanks. And happy days, he has actually brought out a tank, so he's got the Stuart. Well, we have something just for that. So, I am pulling the Puma back. I wasn't 100% confident that I could take on the Stuart. I am capping that point still, so if I give him a little bit of confidence and let him make a mistake with it, perhaps I can actually get him. Oh, no, it looks like I am going for him. Apologies. Alright, so here we go. Now, I'm pretty sure I outrange him. This Puma has 170 range, whereas I think the Stuart only has... Oh, I lie, 180 range. I think the Stuart only has about 160. And I can obviously reverse back really quickly, so... We'll push back up, see if we can't get him. But yeah, I can't pen him from the front. That's all good. I do have to be careful though. If you look at the mini-map there, for those you can see, on the right side of the point, they've actually pushed up in that compound, which is dangerously close to my Puma. So I'm pulling that back. And I'm just making sure the Puma's looking at them, ready to deal with it if they run at him. At this point, I should be getting a squad up to reinforce it. And it looks like I'm about to. What am I going to go for? No, I'm not. I've gone for a Panzer III. Interesting. Didn't know I did that. Panzer III N is good. Why is it good? Because it actually has... It's up armored. Most people think it only has the 50mm frontal armor or whatever it is, but it actually has the bolt-on plates that give it an extra 20 or 30mm. Some people say 20, some people say 30. I don't know. I haven't looked at it myself. But you do get extra armor that most people don't realize is there. So the Panzer III N is actually a really formidable tank, especially before 15 minutes. So I'll bring that up to deal with the Stuart, because it will deal with it quite easily. I am trying to grenade those guys hiding behind the logs. It's really nice when people bunch up the infantry behind logs and stuff like that. You throw smokes, crawl up, lob a grenade, get an easy 5 kills. So up comes the Panzer III. So I assume my thoughts there were to deal with the tank, the Stuart, get that out of the way. Then I can move up my assets, so my support weapons, and push a squad on there without having to worry about the Stuart. So I assume that was the idea there, which isn't a bad idea. Sometimes it is viable to just take a loss for a minute, sort out what you need to sort out, get rid of the tank or the support that your enemy has, then make the big push. I do have infantry reinforcing it as well, though. But 10.5 minutes in, it's 480 to 249. Myself and Dulky's way. Panzer III is now here. Not sure what my idea is here. I think I'm just pushing it up and getting it ready. My reinforcements are a fair way off, and I have barely any infantry there. Excuse me. So, Mainis is a very defensive player. If he had been aggressive at this point with his infantry, he probably could have pushed me off that point, because it's very hard to hold a point with just tanks if they're pushing infantry in there, especially when there's lots of cover. So I've got, what, 3 men on the field, plus the Puma and the Panzer III. Not a lot there to defend a massive attack by even just a squad, so yeah, do with that what you will. But I've got another Volksgrenadier squad coming out. I'm going to launch them up. They'll be just behind this one. Now, we are losing the middle, but I wasn't too worried. I figured I'd just keep going hard for this northwest, see if I couldn't kick Mainis off. And at this point, I'm just looking at what I can get. Couldn't get a lot, though. I'm going to throw some smokes at the start of the point, closest to me, because I don't want to try and run halfway and have half the squad die for no reason. A lot of people tend to silhouette drag and then forget about the squad and let them run there themselves, and then when they look back, 90% of the squad's been killed before they could even shoot. So yeah, make sure you're not doing that. Make sure you're watching them as they run in as well, because you will see infantry, and then you'll be able to quickly jump down and do what you need to do. Free smoke. Now my tanks are getting shots off. Decided to let them loose a little bit. Panzer III's doing quite well though. Obviously Mainis has a lot of bunched up infantry, so a few HEs should deal with that. Yeah, it's got a lot of infantry there though, so gonna be hard for me to push him off this point. I am waiting for him to reveal his Stuart, and it looks like he has. Lay down. There we go. So he has hit my Puma. So I'm going to push the Panzer III up and deal with the Stuart while he's revealed it. And for some reason, my Panzer III's turret is facing the complete wrong way. You do get that? So I'm not sure how far off I am from him. So he's actually hit me with a Panzer Shrek. Again, I should have had something out there to watch. Very unfortunate. Oh, come on, there's a whole squad shooting at him. Rough. So Mainis has got me on that one. That was completely my own fault. I should have had at least some infantry out there watching, but that's okay. My Puma is repairable though, so I'll repair that and I'll keep making the push. In that push, I did decimate his forces, so with this squad, I will actually start capping. Now I've just got to kind of hide the lads and try and keep my position on this point. Looks like Dulky is actually recapturing the middle as well, which is quite nice. So I'm just trying to spread them out as best I can. I also have this secondary squad, so I'm going to move them up as well. Exactly what I meant when I said trying to hold a position with just tanks doesn't really work. Yes, he has infantry there as well, but, you know, a tank isn't going to stop you from throwing stupid amounts of infantry on there. He has reinforced quite hard, though. My second squad's about to push in there, though. 15 minutes in, 456 to 334. Myself and Dulky's way. And bring out the Jagdpanzer 4. I love this thing. I think it's quite awesome. It'll take out pretty much anything at this point in the game. One thing you have to watch out for, though, is getting tracked, because obviously it doesn't have a rotating turret. So keep it back and only use it for armor unless you're sure that there's nothing there and you can bring it up for infantry. Because if you focus on infantry with it, all they got to do is bring up a light tank, hit your tracks, and bomb you. Or even flank you. But once I can deal with this Stuart, I'll be able to make a, I guess, better push on the point. I'm bringing up some reinforcements for that. I've got 2 whole squads moving up. And a mortar. Plus the Puma is about to be up and ready. So I don't think Mainis knows what's coming. Massive counter-offensive. This Stuart is causing me some problems at the minute, though, so I really need to get that gone. What's the range on this Jagdpanzer? I reckon it's... Alright, after some technical difficulties, we're back. I had the Wi-Fi on, so it did that stupid cannot find video thing. But we're back on. So, alright, I'm going for the Stuart. The range is 200, I believe. Yes. So we'll see if we can't take that out. Looks like he is watching pretty closely because he's trying to get it out of there, but no, not today, son. A good hit. Hit the ammo. Popped it off. So now the, I guess, initiative is kind of transferring to me. I don't know what he has at this point, so he could potentially bring up a tank and actually get me back. I don't know. But I'll pull the Jagdpanzer out anyway. It's there if I need it. And I've got these 2 squads reinforcing with the mortar. He's only holding by +1 as well. I assume he does have squads pushing up as well to help, but my Puma's back, so that'll get back in the fight. And I am pushing the squad out more to the right this time. As you can see, it is hard to fight on a point when you're only holding the edge. Mainis has done very well to push up into the middle of the point and deny me a lot of room. So I really need to kind of take the initiative here and push him away so that I can move up on him and hold him out west instead of him holding me out north. If that makes sense. We are capping quite significantly now. That second squad's moving up as well. And I've gone for more inf. Infantry is king in this game. So I'm getting smoke out, obviously. Use all the smokes you can. Smokes, grenades. If you look on the bottom of the screen there, I've got 20 grenades and 14 smoke. Obviously not all squads have that amount, but you're probably going to die before you use them all anyway, so just use everything you can. Dulky Panzerfaust 30, Triglav Rifleman. Tank. Oh, he did a tankman. I thought he used it on some infantry. It's always fun. But as you can see, I am moving up now. Looks like a lot of his forces have been decimated. It's very hard for both of us to reinforce this point because it is so far away from the spawns. Hence why I'm bringing up so many squads of infantry. That way I can keep reinforcing over and over and over. And out comes a glorious sniper. We all love the snippy snip. So even if you're in cover and really far back, to throw the sandbags up just in case, because it can protect you from HE damage from other mortars or anything. Like, it's just that little bit extra protection. So it's always good. I've got a Panzerschreck team there just in case. I didn't actually bring up any AT rifles or Panzerschrecks like I usually do pretty quickly. I had plenty of Panzerfausts in the squads to deal with stuff if I needed to. Obviously, it's not ideal to use Panzerfaust because the range is average, but you use what you can. Now we're moving up. Go, lads. thought I was game for a second there. I was going to say. I was just checking the score. But I'm just spreading these guys out. I don't want to bunch them all up and watch a whole squad get killed by one HE shell. And it looks like Mainis has been almost wiped off at this point. I expect he has some things up in that little compound further west. And he does have a tank pushing over. Not sure what it is at this point. But Jagdpanzer's time to shine. I'll bring that up to see if I can deal with it. So it's a 76 Sherman. A tank on its own isn't really that big of a deal. I've got, 2.5 squads on the point, plus a squad that's reinforced, plus a few, extra soldiers from other squads around. So I've got more than enough to protect myself. I've got the Jagdpanzer, which he knows I have. Still got the Puma. Got the mortar. It's going to be a very, very harsh time for Mainis to try and push me off this point. I was looking at the arty signaler because at this point in the game, we're not far off winning. So anything I can get, I'll get. I noticed they were capping the middle, so I've actually brought out this squad with the Schwimmenwagen. It's like a little amphibious jeep. I'm going to push them to the middle to try and recapture that zone. That way we can keep the points ticking over a lot faster, because obviously you get more points holding 4 points than, 3. And he did lie down behind those logs. If you're going to do that, so I just grenaded him obviously, but if you're going to do that and lie down behind logs, throw smoke first in front of you and keep a couple of guys sitting up so that they can see what's coming. That way, any of my soldiers running through the smoke are just going to get one shot by the infantry that are watching. So don't just lie down and not throw any smoke. Like, you should lie down and then throw smoke to cover yourself. That way you can bring a few guys up and protect yourself from exactly that situation. But he's brought up this Sherman. So I'm going to move up and see if I can't deal with it. Does have pretty decent frontal armor. So I'm not 100% sure if I can take it, but I figured with the Jagdpanzer 4, it'd have enough strength to push through the armor. Enough oomph. I did have high explosive. I don't think I realised at the time. Come on, when do I realise? Oh my god, I'm retarded. There we go. So the AP composite Richard's coming in. You get very few shells of this, unfortunately, and he has seen that I'm here now, I think. Oh, what I hit. I don't know what I hit, to be honest. I'm obviously hitting something. Probably the ground. There was a few random hills in that, so I've actually got a shot on it this time. Judging by the aimer, you can see how it's red. It means I can't penetrate there. Or the chances of penetrating are small. But, yeah, I'm probably going to need to flank it. I do have a bunch of anti-tank infantry around the place, so I am going to try and flank him. And then the Panzerschreck team, I push to the corner. I'll see if I can get them to do some damage. One thing you should do fighting on these flanks, if you can, get a Panzerschreck team out, chuck it in the corner of the map, or even just one Panzerfaust dude. Because the amount of times this will happen, your opponent won't cover that edge of the map, and you can just walk in and do what I'm about to do. Oh, hit a tree. But yeah. Try and keep something out there, because it's always very handy. Shoot! So happy days, dealing with that. That tactic has saved me many times. Just throwing a Panzerschreck in the corner and forgetting about it. And then, 5 minutes later, a tank comes up that you can't penetrate from the front. You can just walk up to it and make sure they have a bad day. So I've sorted that, getting him out of there. And now I've got a major upper hand. I don't think Mainis has any support weapons there anymore. And these special forces dudes are now here, so we'll get them in the point. They'll be worth a fair bit, I'd say. So I went from 1.5, I can't see the thing. Oh. The scoreboard was in the way, I couldn't see how much it went up. But they are elite imp, so they should have given a bit of a boost. I've also got another squad pushing to the middle to help out. I figured I was quite comfortable at this point on the flank. Mainis did put up quite the fight, but I think I just overran him with the amount of stuff I had. I do still have this squad here. I'm not sure what I'm thinking of doing with it. I probably should have pushed it up to the corner more, but 25 minutes in, 900 to 191, myself and Triglav's way. I've bought the Yagged Panther. So I figured a heavy tank was going to come out to deal with my Yag Panzer, so I'll bring up the Yag Panther and deal with it that way. A bit of a ruse. He thinks he'll be facing up against a Yag Panzer, and little does he know a Yag Panther is coming up to take him on. Again, I'm not sure if he brings out a heavy tank, but I just did that prematurely. Why not? I am moving some of these lads over to the middle. With some of the tanks. This thing is a behemoth. It is so strong. So doing quite well. Me and Mainis are quite even on kills. So it hasn't been a bad game from either side. I think my support weapons have made the difference. Triglav and Dulky have had quite the fight as well. But I've brought up my Puma. I figured at this point it doesn't really matter. I'll bring stuff up and just try and clear out the points. Whether I lose the tanks at this point or not doesn't really matter because we've pretty well won. But I'll throw it out there. If you do like this content, please do like, sub, comment, all that good stuff. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, lads.